Alright YouTube, what is going on? It's ConflctNerd Callum here today, bringing you another episode of Another Brick in the Mall. Today in episode number 5 we're going to continue with our Grand Mall project. So you can probably already notice, if you have a good eye and can remember the last episode, we have made some modifications. And they are as follows. So the first thing is here in our main shop, I've gone ahead and filled out a lot more of the shelves. So previously I had 2 of every single item in the shop that could go on the shelves and also in the fridges as well, and I guess the same with the tables. However, because there was so much room in this shop, I decided to go ahead and upgrade that to allow for 4 of every single item in the shop, and I also added in an extra door into the stock room, so that means that our stock clerks can get access much easier instead of having to go the long way around. That will save some time and will also mean that our shelves should hopefully be more stocks going forwards. That is probably one of the biggest changes, or the most noticeable change I think you will see. I have added in more staff though, and I've gone ahead and done something very important. So what I've done now is I've moved to a rotational system which is consistent. So throughout my future builds as well, this is probably going to be what is going to be continued to be done, and is something which I probably should have done a long time ago. So if we go ahead and look at cashiers here, you can see that it's 10 throughout the day from 6 o'clock until I believe it's 10 o'clock at night, and then it drops down to only 3 throughout the night. Now why is this? The rotational system is so important because one, it's a set standard and it's easy to go ahead and follow and also implement. That is what I've gone for. So how the rotational system works is you either do the morning shift, which is from 6 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or you do the evening shift, which is from 2 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night, or you even do the night shift, which is from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So basically it's 8-hour shifts back to back. Either do the morning, evening or night shift. Simple as that. And that's going to work out quite well. So that has been implemented in our newest store, this store here, with our cashiers and also with our stock clerks. This will just simplify things going forward, and in general it is allowing for much easier scheduling of staff first of all. Then also it means that really the busy times are all covered. Stuff starts to really pick up about 7 AM in the morning and goes to about maybe 9 o'clock at night. So that is all that covered. It means that people are getting in nice and early at 6 AM. As we can see, things are getting off to a little bit of a slow start today. We'll go ahead and speed things up to ×2. But in general, I would say things start to pick up about then, and up until about 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, they're really quite busy, and then things die down, because overnight, I mean, we really don't need any more than 3 staff at all for the time being. So that here is that on the go, and I'm quite happy with that. The next thing I modified is the area up here. So basically I just decided to go ahead, I needed to put in some recycling areas, which I did very easily, and the final thing I did was also laid out this store here as well. Now, I've actually attempted to record this episode before, however I managed to somehow trigger a glitch, which was a bit of an issue, so I had to go ahead. I could have kept the recording, but in general I just really wasn't too happy with it, and when I'm not happy with something, it's a lot more difficult for me to edit and publish, because I'm half like, should I redo this, should I redo that? I thought, let's just go ahead and redo it. So when I was doing that, I built a shop which was just for normal shelved items. That is not food and not, I guess, well, it's interesting. It does contain a lot of stuff which should probably be in a shop, and that's the thing, but this is a pure food shop, and this is going to be a pure non-food shop, so it'll have everything from your diapers to do your deodorants, your household tools, all that sort of thing, which will go into this place here. Then at the bottom, there will be some other shop, not really at all sure what that is going to be yet. I also need to turn your attention to this here. So I've gone ahead and changed up what we were researching. We're actually getting extremely close to unlocking everything. By the end of this, or at least the next episode, we will have everything unlocked. So right now, tool supplier, we were working towards that, and we're halfway through that. However, for the current time being, I've turned my attention to road network 2. This will allow for more customers to arrive at our shopping complex, also more staff, and it will just go ahead and increase traffic, which I'm sort of building towards, and that's where we're going to start off with today's episode now properly. So what do I want to go ahead and do? Well, quite easy to be honest, it's nothing too complex. I want to go ahead and start off by extending the restaurants. Our two supermarkets right now, well, our supermarket and our food store, they're doing overall quite well in general. However, I definitely need to go ahead and up things if I can, and I should be able to do that. So customers are leaving store 7 without buying anything. That was only one occurrence, so I'm not really too bothered about that. This restaurant though is getting much more busier. As we can see, there's a wee red guy who's about to go off his nut, so we need to go ahead and deal with this issue and I think make this place 24/7 as well. So the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is remove roadworks, and we're going to go ahead and remove this street here. Then we're just going to extend this whole place quite a bit. That's really the bottom line. So let's go ahead and extend you out that way. That's much, I think. 17. Yeah, that works out nicely. And then it's also going to go upwards as well when this road gets destroyed. It will not take very long at all to happen, but the restaurant is going to get a massive overhaul here. Now you might be like, why are you going ahead and doing up the restaurant? I mean, that's a good question. I understand why people are asking that. Why are you not going to go ahead and build it in the mall? Well, the mall, for the time being, is such a long project. So I want to have a separate restaurant which is working and is properly functioning for the time being before I go ahead and... this needs to be dealt with first, that's the bottom line. So I'm going to go ahead and make quite a lot of changes actually, just because this whole place really does need it. So what do I need to go ahead and start off with? Well, the first thing is we're going to have sort of like a left wing and a right wing where people can go ahead and sit, and we're going to extend the kitchen up. However, there needs to be a corridor in between the two, so that is the first thing which I'm going to implement. So what I need to do is go ahead and build a wall along here instead, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have to reduce the... Actually, I think I could have a one thin corridor. I think that'll do, to be honest. Actually, we're just going to go ahead and build in some more walls randomly here. It will all make sense later on. Let's not build there. Let's delete... I'll need to delete this wall along here because it's all going to make sense eventually. Do not worry. Then if we can go ahead and delete this wall here as well, trust me, just give me a little bit of time and it will all make sense. Let's go ahead and delete you as well. And anything else? Don't think so. I think we're actually good to continue on for the time being. The next thing I need to do is go ahead and work on this bathroom. So let's go ahead and add in a door there and a door there. Let's go ahead and remove objects. Let's go ahead and remove you and remove all of those sinks there. Then let's go ahead and assign. Let's go ahead and I need to modify restroom 5. So let's jump into manage actually. Restroom. Yeah, as we can see, we need to go ahead and just cut some of this restroom off. So let's go ahead and jump back in here. Let's go ahead and remove that there and remove that there as well. So the restroom here has got much smaller, and it's also lacking in sinks right now, which I will very quickly go ahead and change. So let's scroll down this monstrosity of a list and go ahead and grab some toilet sinks. Let's put them back up against this bottom wall here. And as you can see, the bathroom's just been made smaller. It was already too big anyway, but this will solve the problem. So the next thing I want to do is actually go ahead and start to lay this out. So that's going to be an extra queuing area. Then we're going to go ahead and extend. It's not really actually, it's going to have an extension and it's going to go up to here, but it's not actually going to be that large an extension anyway. So that's going to happen there. Then this whole area here is going to be seating. So it's going to be a lot of seating which is going in. We are also going to be upgrading the facilities at the same time though. So let me go ahead, and there's going to be a lot of movement in this shop. I'm probably actually going to speed this up and wait till it closes again before I go ahead and start to implement all these larger changes going forward. So one thing I think I'll do is actually we'll have a corridor at the top here as well. We'll make that one 2 wide, and we will go ahead and also draw in a wall along the top there like that. I will need to have staff entrances though as well. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is jump down into here, and let's go ahead and grab an order counter. Let's go ahead and rotate you guys, and let's add you in there, and then we're just going to go ahead and have basically 12. We're going to have some down the other side as well. So let's go ahead and implement these very quickly. So this is going to be absolutely great going forward. I can't wait. I also want to go ahead and just add in a little bit of extra walls there and there as well. So these two gaps, I've got a feeling customers will walk through here anyway, but I can't really do too much about that. I can't put restrictions on where customers walk and where staff, like a staff only zone. I could go ahead and actually I could just enclose this area and then add in doors. What am I thinking? Honestly, very strange. Staff will be able to use staff doors to get in and out of this area, no problem. So let me go ahead and add in a staff door there, and there we go. So that's the kitchen, and you can really see now what I'm going to be going ahead and building in the future. Let's go ahead and remove that small wall there. Then let's go ahead and floor tiles. Let's go ahead and fill this up with wood, and that works out like that. So it's just that small section there, and there we go. So you really get the feel now for what I'm actually trying to build here. So everyone's gone home, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and slow this game right down, and we're going to go ahead and start to modify things. So someone's coming in here. So this is the garbage man. So he's going to go ahead and get rid of the trash. So let's go ahead and manage. Let's go ahead and jump in here to fast food restaurants. And as we can see, it really does need a little bit of an extension. So let's go back into assign, let's go into fast food restaurants, and let's go ahead and extend the fast food restaurant room number 6 here. So let's expand you right over to here, then right down here, and that works out nicely. I think we can also do that corridor there too though. Yep, that works out totally fine. So large fast food restaurant number 6, then we've got restroom in the middle, and we've also got the storage down the bottom. I maybe should have did that other way around, and I might change it later on, but for the time being I'm now happy. So I'm actually going to pause this because we're going to do quite a lot of, there's going to be quite a lot of stuff that needs to be done by the morning. So let me go ahead and jump into build, jump into remove objects. We're going to go ahead and remove all of this for the time being. The reason is because I want to go ahead and reposition it. It needs repositioned, and I'm just not happy with the overall positioning. So let's go ahead and speed this up, and let's get some builders in here to go ahead and hopefully demolish this pronto. So we can go ahead, and as you can see, that works out nicely there. For some reason the lights just turned on. I don't know if I changed the opening hours in this place. No, it doesn't open till 7 o'clock, so we're totally fine. So with that done, let's go ahead and redesign this kitchen area. So first of all, fast food dispensers, we're still going to be keeping them. We're going to go ahead, I can't rotate these unfortunately, so we're going to go ahead and put you guys in there. So that's the soda dispensers. Then we're going to have the food warmers, which are going to go along here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to need our fast food cooking ranges. I can't rotate you guys either. This is just the worst. It really is honestly the worst. So what I'm just going to have to do is just going to have one, then I don't know how big gaps we need actually. I think we can go ahead to 3, 4, so that means there's 4, so that means 4 cooks can be on at once. Then at the back here we're going to have some more fast food, another fast food, and then another soda dispenser, so that works out nicely. So that is the now new modified kitchen. So this means as well that we can go ahead and open up 24/7 as well. What I am going to do is go ahead and sort of do a symmetrical layout that we've done at this right side of the store and the left side of the store. So there we have it. So that is the new seating area. I don't know if I'm too happy with it, if I'm totally honest. However, we just need more seating for this area, especially when it comes 24/7. Again, I will probably modify this later on in the series, but for the time being I just want to get this up and running. So all that building needs to happen. Then the next thing is it's basically just getting staff in to go ahead and make this place really become 24/7. So first of all, what rotational system are you on? You're going to start at 6 o'clock and you're going to start at 2 o'clock. This is going to, by tomorrow, it's going to turn it into a 24/7 restaurant, that's for sure. Let's change up to cashiers here. So right now we're going to change the opening hours for the time being to just be for this day, to be from 6 till 10, just so my new system works out that little bit better. So this cashier starts at 6, you're also going to start at 6, you're going to start at 6, then you're going to start at 6 o'clock as well, so you can see really what I'm going for here. Then you're going to start at 2 in the afternoon, you're going to start at 2 in the afternoon, and then so are you. So now what I need to go ahead and do is basically just add on to this. So we need to go ahead and hire quite a lot of cashiers. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab quite a few use out of our interview area, and there's some not bad mixture actually. I'm liking some of these here. I'm not too bothered about the specific values. Maria McPherson, you have got some very, very good sociability, patience and speed skills, and cashier. So that is a great mixture to have there. Most of you guys will start at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I'll have to put some of you onto the afternoon shift just so everything balances out. So that works out there. So right now it's going to be a lot. There's going to be 7 people in the morning and 6 people in the afternoon for the time being. We'll go ahead and add in another one. I think we'll go ahead and take Gillian Morrison into the shop, and you're going to start there at 2 o'clock as well. So as you can see, that works out nicely. Then I need to have some people working overnight. So let's go ahead and take Randy, let's go ahead and take Haley, and let's go ahead and take probably Matthew, because you're maybe all round the best. You don't excel in anything specific, but you will do. So let's go ahead and put you to 10 o'clock at night. Also Haley, and then Randy to 10 o'clock at night as well. So that works out wonderful. So 7 people throughout the day and 3 cashiers at night. That'll be good enough to start off with anyway. Now we need to go ahead and turn our attention, and I'm basically just going to do the same thing for the cooks. So that's me gone ahead and made all the modifications. Had to modify the cooks and also the stock clerks as well. I just decided to go ahead and fast forward that bit. And the reason for that is because it's really not that exciting, to be honest, but it is now done, which is good. So now we are ready to go. It looks like workers are already coming in. It's because the shop isn't actually open. We've got the workers turning up to work, which is good, but as of tomorrow, it will become a proper 24/7 shop. One thing I've also noticed is actually I probably need to go ahead and add in a lot more doors, and along with that I can also add in some more seating at the top as well. So let's go ahead and add in a double door there and a double door there. There's a double door there at the side so you can get quick access from the shop. We'll add in another one down in this bottom corner here. We'll also add another one in there. Then we can go ahead, and I think that should really be enough for the time being actually. I think that should work out quite nicely. So that with the doors there, we can go ahead and jump back into manage fast food restaurants. Let's have you going ahead, and I don't want to modify you, I want to modify the opening hours of the shop. So that is it now at 24/7, and it should be able to go ahead and deal with all the demands it gets thrown at it. The reason that, and it might seem like we've got a lot of cooks right now, I'm pre-building because we've just unlocked Road Network Extensions 2, which is going to bring a lot more people, and we'll go ahead and talk about that in a minute. The final thing I do need to do though is go ahead and very quickly grab myself some more objects, and we need to go ahead and grab ourselves some more dining tables. So I can get some more dining tables in at the top here, that's really what I'm going for. So let's just go ahead and put a shit ton of yous in a row along the top here, and then the same over at this side as well. So there we go. It's not quite symmetrical, and I realise I just feel some people's OCD just going off a little bit, but it'll do for now. That's really the bottom line. Anyway, so that is the best this place is really going to get, so we're going to go ahead and leave this, but now we shouldn't hopefully get too many more complaints about this area in the future. So before I go ahead and add in this extra, I mean it's going to cost me 40,000 to unlock, which isn't that a high price. We're on unlimited money anyway. I do need to go ahead and expand the car parking facilities before we go ahead and allow for more people to arrive into this area. And for that I want to go ahead and basically just add in some more car parking. So right now we've got a staff only street here. We're going to go ahead and add in another road, which we need to leave a little bit of a gap. How big a gap? Just it looks like one road tile wide. So we go ahead and build a road right down there. Then if we go ahead and build a road along there like that, that works out nicely. Then I need to go ahead and it will be a gap, then it will be, I'm just trying to work this all out in my head, so you're going to work out like that, then you can come along here, and you can come along here. A lot of this I'm not going to fill out for the time being, I'm just like pre-laying roads to go ahead and build spaces later on. The reason I'm building this road around here is because when we get this shop up and running, I want to have car parking facilities at this end, so it can go ahead, and it means people don't have to park like all the way over here, run through an unnecessary shop. That's just something which I want to go ahead and avoid going forwards. So that's me gone ahead and laid out some more car parks. I need to go ahead and add in some loading zones there, and also need to do some garbage pickup up the top there. So that works out nicely. And with all that done, we're pretty much ready to go. I'll wait a little bit longer before I go ahead and open this up because it is really just going to be an influx of a lot more people. What I want to do now though is go ahead and start to build this store here and continue our grand mall building. Before I do that though, I want to go ahead and start to make this mall feel a little bit more like a mall. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and start to place fountains down the middle here. Now unfortunately you have to be 3 by 2, so this is not going to be symmetrical. So this is what I've done here. I've gone ahead and quote-unquote brought this area to life, so really not done much, but it's better than nothing. So we've added in some bushes down the middle here. We've also got 2 water dispensers, we've got 2 pinball machines, and we've also got 2 ATMs. So that is a starting point. I will go ahead and continually modify this as I continue on, but it's a good starting point. Now, one thing which I realise I haven't really done is I need to go ahead and make a maintenance centre for this place, and that is something that I should have done a long time ago. So right now we have one maintenance centre which all of our builders, janitors, and I think it's just those 2 operate out of, and it's all the way over here. So the Grand Mall, if someone wants to come and, for example, clean up the floors in the Grand Mall, then they've got to travel an extremely long distance, and we're going to go ahead and solve that right now. So what I want to do is go ahead and grab myself some walls. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit out of this shop here, I think, just because it's not defined, so we're not going to land up breaking the game. That is how I sort of broke the game before. I went ahead and in the episode I recorded previously, I built this full shop, and then I realised halfway through that it should only be half the size. Then I halved it, and that's when the game sort of just broke and just, yeah, it didn't go down too well at all. So let me go ahead and create another staff room here. Let's go ahead, and this is where the Grand Mall starts to differ from being symmetrical. It would be lovely to go ahead and keep it symmetrical, but it's just so unrealistic. It's not going to happen at all. So let me go ahead and do that there. Let's go ahead and jump into a sign, and let's go ahead and add in a second maintenance centre here at maintenance centre, which is room number 9. So with that, I can go ahead and start to hire some more staff. That's really what I'm wanting to do, and in the terms of janitors especially. So we're going to go ahead and hire Sophia Alia. We're going to go ahead and hire... we're just going to go ahead and grab a few to start off with here, and then also Max. And you 3 are going to be basically working on a quite simple and very basic, however, rotation of basically just one is going to be on every hour of the day, so it's a 24-hour cycle essentially. And then we'll maybe add in one more. We'll go ahead and grab Peach, because you're the best out of a bad bunch, and we'll go ahead and put you on at, I think you'll do from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock, so that works out fine. And that's just keeping up with our staff hiring system, which is like you either do the morning, the evening, or the night shift. Which is, it seems to be working, and it's something that I'm definitely doing quite a bit. So as we can see, you basically stay there, but then when all of a sudden some mess appears in the shop, then you go ahead and deal with that, and as we can see, you're dealing with that right now. Right, so with that done, let's go ahead and turn our attention to this new store which we're going to be building, and also we unlock tool supplier. So that's the next thing I want to go ahead and turn my attention to. So right now we have cinema, we have luxury items, and we have Road Networks 3 to do. Road Networks 3 is going to take a long time. I believe that is 8 days all in all, but because we're playing this game at such a speed, we're already on day 51 and we're only on episode number 5 right now, so it's not going to take that long at all. It will take a few episodes, probably. It'll probably be not this episode, maybe the next episode or the episode after. I'll have everything unlocked. So with that done, let's go ahead and do this, and this is going to be interesting. So you'll just see the amount of cars that are going to pour into the area, and as you can see, this road is pretty much non-stop. So right now our average customer number, it's at 10 o'clock and it was at roughly 150. The maximum we've had is 222, but now with that new addition, I think things are going to take off dramatically, and I think we're going to have a real effect on our restaurant, which thankfully we've gone ahead and upgraded that capacity recently, and it's also going to have effect here on our food shop here as well. I hope that this can handle it. However, I'm starting to see the amount of people that are pouring in here, and right now I'm getting the feeling that it's not going to. The queues are getting ridiculously long, and there's not really much end in sight, is there? Because this is just going to continue on. We've also got 2 red exclamation marks for store 7 and also parking. Are we full on? Yeah, it's because we've not actually pre-built the parking over here. That is something which I missed, so let's go ahead and very quickly do that right now. So that was my bad there, I just totally forgot to go ahead. I built the roads, I built the framework, quote unquote, but I just didn't go ahead and build the car parking. So as we can see here, this is at 10 o'clock at night, and there is still a lot of people. Right now it's gonna, at 11 o'clock it's gonna jump down to only 3 cashiers, so we definitely need to go ahead and add in a lot more staff into this area. However, to our advantage, if we jump into manage, this is store 7, we now have a shit ton or an extra 3 people interviewing for a job. It doesn't necessarily bring better people though, but it does bring more people to my attention. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and grab myself a lot more, probably 6 more cashiers, maybe 7, to go ahead and put on to our shop floor. So I'm just grabbing people very, very quickly as I do. But the good thing is now we have so much more options, and that is something that will allow me to make this process a little bit easier and also faster as well. Right, so I've gone ahead and hired, it looks like 6 more people. I need to go ahead and have another one working throughout the night, that's for sure. Maybe another 2 people working throughout the night, so that's up to 5. Then we just need to go ahead and assign some more people to the morning shift, and then some more people into the evening shift as well. Really what I've done is gone ahead and added in 2 extra people into each shift. That's really what I've done, and I think that will go ahead and work out great. So we're up to 12 cashiers throughout the whole day, and then we've got 5, it looks like, working throughout the night. So the next thing I need to do is jump down here to objects. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves the checkouts. I want to actually add in 2 more checkouts because I think we could do with it now. So, and we also have the room as well. So that's an extra 2 getting built on there, and that is the maximum amount of checkouts we can have in our shop now built. The good thing about this is that this whole area really can't expand. One thing I do need to do though on the management front is actually add in some more stock clerks as well. So I'll do that very quickly. So there we go, that is me gone ahead and hired some more, though I'm still not got enough cashiers on. That's the real problem. Like, if we very quickly filter here by cashiers, we can see we're on 12 cashiers, but I honestly don't know if that is enough. That is the real problem. Like, 12 cashiers is a lot of cashiers, but it's just the volume of people that is coming through this checkout. Honestly, it is that bad. We might need to go ahead and up to 14 very, very shortly, honestly, because it's just absolutely insane. As we can see, the car parking is very close to getting full. It was at 300. We've now broken that record again. We're at 360. We can see our old shop is still getting a fair bit of use, and then our restaurant is getting a lot more use as well. I probably need to go ahead and add in more staff here as well, it looks like, too, because things are just absolutely crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead, and as you can see, just all this car parking space is already filled up. That's pretty mental. It's just this road is so busy. But we're going to go ahead and start to build this shop now before the end of this episode. So let me go ahead and grab the store here. Let's go ahead and define this store there. That's store 10, and then we're going to have storage room 11 here as well. So let me go ahead and jump into manage store 10. We're going to go ahead and assign you storage, and you're going to be storage room 11 just like that. So going back to what I said earlier on, basically this area is going to be, or the shop, store number 10 is going to be the kind of shop which holds every single item that I've got here, which just goes on the normal shelf. And I'm going to go ahead and put 3 of every single item into the shop. I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up because it's not very enjoyable for me, and I can't imagine it'd be very enjoyable for you to watch either. So that is me gone ahead and assigned a shit ton of different items onto the shelf. It took me quite a while to do. So it's now time to go ahead and manage some staff for the shop. So I'm going to go ahead and open this shop up straight away 24 hours. Every single shop I buy I want to have 24 hours going forward. That's just going to be the norm really. For this, I'm going to have quite a lot of cashiers. I mean, it's not going to be as busy as the food store. You don't buy like deodorant every day. The only thing which I could see and maybe come in here to buy every single day is diapers. But even then at that, you don't buy diapers every day. You maybe buy diapers on a weekly basis if you have a child. You just buy a shit ton at once, if you understand what I'm saying. Not that I'm a mother or a father, but that's the feeling I get. However, I don't know if the game works this way though. That's one thing which I'm a little bit unsure about. So there we go, that is me assigned all of the staff into the shop, and then that is us good to go. So that is the shop now into operation. It's slowly but surely getting stocked up, but we are now making our first sales, which is good. One thing I do need to note is that we essentially filled up on car parking spots. Now, it's difficult to ever fill on car parking spots. I'll never get 422 out of 22, but if we are over 95%, which with that number 396 over 422 times 100, then we are pretty much at 95% 5%. So I do need to go ahead and just expand the car parks even more, and that is something which I'm going to do very, very quickly. So let's build you down there. It needs to be a gap of 1, 2, 3. So let's draw you in there. 1, 2, 3. This is the way I want to lay out my car parks going forward anyway. So with that done now, all I really want to go ahead and do is actually just improve this general Grand Mall area. So what do I need to go ahead and do for this? So this shop is totally in operation, which is good to see, and I think it's going to do the best that it can. I just want to go ahead and check. So we've made 100,000 sales, which is nice to see. We had in store 1 in the evening or morning, so 4:55, which is this store over here. We obviously don't have enough people doing the night shift, that's the bottom line. And we got that at 4:55, so it's just about 4:55 the next day, and I'm not really seeing the similar issue. It was 3 occurrences though, so that's kind of high, so a little bit surprised at that. We've now also unlocked luxury items as well, which is something which I need to go ahead and implement into my shop. Then we have store 7 as being full, and then also fast food. The fast food was only 1 occurrence, and that was at 10 o'clock when the shift changeover. As you can see right now, it's like empty, so I think we're doing fine on that front. This is a busy place, and what I think I need to do is go ahead and double check how many checkouts I've got. So I have 16 checkouts overall, so what I need to go ahead and do is basically just fill all of these 24/7. For the time being, I've gone ahead and upped it to 14, and I'm also going to go ahead and add in some more stock clerks because they are extremely busy, but as you can see, there's still a lot of empty shelves here. Anyway, I'm not going to go ahead and continue on with what I was going to do. I was going to go and start to extend this corridor and continue to work on this place, but I think I've ran out of time for this episode, so I'll go ahead and continue with that in the next episode. So hope you are enjoying this series overall. I am starting to gear towards just building this Grand Mall area, and so far I think anyway we're off to a not bad start. In the next episode I want to go ahead and I'll have everything unlocked. We need to go ahead and probably build a clothing, electronics store, and then we'll go from there. Maybe start to build a restaurant in this area as well, so there's a lot to look forward to. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode, so thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd and I'm out.